We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. For over a decade, we have stood as the digital guardians, exposing corruption and fighting for transparency in a world increasingly dominated by digital manipulation. While many know us for our high-profile operations against corporations and governments, today we turn our attention to a different but equally dangerous threat: the sophisticated scams targeting ordinary citizens in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we're already several months into 2025, and the digital battlefield has evolved more dramatically than ever before. What makes today's threats particularly dangerous isn't just their technical complexity, it's how masterfully they exploit human psychology. But here's the good news. Awareness is your strongest shield. Let's dive into what you need to know to protect yourself in today's digital landscape. Imagine driving through a toll plaza only to receive a text claiming you have unpaid tolls, with your license about to be suspended. This regional toll payment scam has exploded in popularity, with fraudsters sending text messages that appear to be from legitimate services like Easy Pass or Fast Track, depending on your area code. According to recent data from the Federal Trade Commission, these transportation-related scams increased by 43% in early 2025, with victims losing an average of $455 per incident. The messages typically include urgent language about fines or license suspension and direct you to a convincing but fraudulent payment site designed to harvest your financial information. Perhaps the most ingenious evolution in phishing comes from scammers who found a way to send messages through legitimate PayPal channels. These aren't spoofed emails. They're actually coming from PayPal.com itself, making them nearly impossible for spam filters to catch. The scammers exploit a clever loophole by adding a gift address to their own PayPal accounts while inserting your email. When PayPal sends a legitimate notification about this address change, the scammers have embedded their scam message within the address field itself. According to Forbes, this technique has successfully targeted over 1 million users since January 2025. Once you respond to their message, they'll typically instruct you to download remote access software, giving them complete control of your computer and access to your financial accounts. Here's a particularly devious tactic that's gained traction recently: the Windows Run command scam. You might be browsing what appears to be a legitimate website when suddenly you're prompted to press Windows + to bring up the Run dialog box, then Ctrl+V and Enter to supposedly verify your identity or fix some urgent problem. What you don't see is that the site has already copied a malicious command to your clipboard. When you paste and execute it, you're essentially giving permission for malware to download and install itself on your system. Security researchers have identified over 30 variants of this attack in the first quarter of 2025 alone, with some capable of deploying ransomware that encrypts all your personal files. The command often includes lengthy dummy text that overflows the dialog box, cleverly hiding the actual malicious code from view. Remember, legitimate websites will never ask you to execute commands through the Run dialog. This classic scam has found new hunting grounds. Originally common on gaming platforms like Steam and Discord, it's now rapidly spreading across Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. The scenario plays out like this. You receive a message from someone claiming they accidentally reported your account, and now you're at risk of being banned. They express concern and offer to help by connecting you with a supposed admin or platform representative who can verify your account for a fee, of course. In 2025, these scams have become particularly sophisticated, with AI-generated messages that analyze your public posts to create personalized, convincing appeals. According to cybersecurity firm SWK Technologies, these targeted attacks have a success rate nearly 3 times higher than generic phishing attempts. The logic falls apart when you realize all major platforms have robust review systems for reports. No legitimate platform would ban you based solely on a single unverified report. We've observed this ourselves and were caught off guard. A notification from the legitimate Shopify app showing a $1,000 order never placed from something called Help Center. This wasn't just a fake email. It was an actual notification in the order history within the official app. What makes this scam particularly troubling is how it infiltrates trusted ecosystems. Cybercriminals have discovered vulnerabilities in e-commerce, platforms that allow them to create ghost orders that appear in your account history without actually charging your card. The real scam begins when you receive a simultaneous email about shipping verification for this phantom order. directing you to contact a supposed support email invariably, a Gmail address with no connection to any legitimate business. According to recent Shopify community reports, these scams typically lead to attempts to collect verification fees or remote access scams. When was the last time you carefully read the permissions you granted to an app or service? The app authorization scam exploits our tendency to click through permission screens without scrutiny. Hackers create convincing duplicates of legitimate apps like Google Calendar or authentication services with identical names and icons, but the permissions they request are far more extensive than what the real app would need. One Twitter user documented how he was tricked into authorizing what appeared to be Google Calendar, only to discover it was a fraudulent app that gained complete access to his account. Within minutes, the scammers were tweeting crypto scams from his verified account. This technique has become particularly prevalent in gaming communities. Counter-Strike players have been targeted by fake streams, purporting to be from professional players, offering free in-game items through QR codes. These codes lead to fake login pages that request Steam authorization, giving scammers access to valuable in-game inventories worth thousands of real dollars. Beyond PayPal, scammers have found ways to exploit other legitimate notification systems. Google Drive shared document notifications and YouTube private video sharing have become popular vectors. You might receive an official notification that Wells Fargo financial statement has been shared with you via Google Drive, or that someone has shared a private YouTube video titled Changes in Monetization Policy. These notifications come from legitimate Google domains. Bypassing spam filters with ease, the scammers name their content to appear official and include urgent instructions to click, links in descriptions or attached PDFs. According to cybersecurity experts, cloud storage impersonation attacks have increased by 87% since late 2024. Perhaps the most concerning evolution in 2025's scam landscape is the deployment of advanced AI to craft incredibly convincing communications. We've intercepted multiple sponsorship emails claiming to be from major companies like NVIDIA, Sony, and Logitech that were virtually indistinguishable from legitimate communications. These AI-generated messages analyze your public content to create personalized offers that align with your professional profile and interest. They typically contain attachments, contracts, NDAs, or promotional materials that harbor sophisticated malware. The FTC reports that losses from AI-powered business email compromise scams reached $295 billion in the first quarter of 2025 alone, making it one of the fastest-growing threat vectors. The same technologies are creating convincing fake websites. Recent campaigns targeting Chrome users feature perfect replicas of the official Chrome update page, complete with platform-specific instructions. These fake update packages contain stealer malware that harvests browser cookies, effectively cloning your logged-in sessions across all websites. So how do we defend ourselves in this increasingly sophisticated landscape? Here are some critical steps. First, consider implementing a strict policy regarding unknown calls. With robocalls and scam calls reaching unprecedented levels, we recommend letting unfamiliar numbers go to voicemail. On iPhone, you can enable the option to silence unknown callers automatically. For browser security, Chrome users should enable enhanced protection in their privacy and security settings. This feature provides real-time protection against phishing sites instead of relying on periodically updated block lists. According to Google, this feature has protected over 1 billion users from evolving threats. Microsoft Edge users have access to a similar feature under privacy and security settings called Enhance My Security on the Web. Setting this to balanced provides extra protection for unfamiliar sites while avoiding disruption to your regularly visited websites. Edge users also benefit from a new AI-powered scareware blocker feature released in early 2025. This technology uses machine learning to identify and block fake virus alerts and technical support scams in real time, even if they haven't been reported yet. While technical solutions are essential, your awareness remains the most powerful defense. Remember these fundamental rules. Never execute commands through the Windows Run dialog at the request of a website. Legitimate services will never ask you to do this. Always verify the sender's actual email domain, not just the display name. Even if the email comes from a legitimate domain, be suspicious of unexpected attachments or urgent requests. When granting permissions to applications, carefully review what you're allowing them to access. Ask yourself if the permissions requested make sense for the app's function. For any financial matters, Navigate directly to the official website by typing the URL yourself rather than clicking links in emails or texts. The digital landscape of 2025 requires a new level of vigilance, but armed with this knowledge, you're already steps ahead of those trying to exploit you. Knowledge is our collective shield against these evolving threats. No special action required, simply being aware of these tactics dramatically reduces your risk of falling victim. We are anonymous. We have exposed these threats. Now it's your turn to take action. Share this information far and wide. Protect yourself. Protect your loved ones. Together we can create a safer digital world where scammers have nowhere to hide. Remember, in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. Choose knowledge. Choose security. We are watching, and so should you.